Robin's checking out. My Batman's still on the floor.
The Memphis Grizzlies at number 8, the Golden State Warriors at number 7. With the winner here facing the 2-seed Houston Rockets. Here's Morant.
Oh, he did that on purpose.
And he got it to go. How in the world did he pull that off?
He threw it off the backboard to himself.
It's amazing.
A la Tracy McGrady.
There's going to be ups and downs, all right? But let's remember the game plan.
We know he's known as playoff Jimmy, but tonight he's going to have to be playing in Jimmy.
Butler got it. Oh! An acrobatic play. 21 for Jimmy Butler.
Morant to the left baseline, pull up 10-footer is good. He gets hit. Uh-oh. Morant is clutching his right ankle as he goes down.
And they're taking out Morant.
12 minutes. 12 minutes of relentless play. Every loose ball, every 50-50 ball.
And look at this. John Morant coming back in here. Going to try to give it a go.
Here he is, Morant, setting to tie, and he does with the beautiful mid-ranger. Butler with the move. Green, Curry, 3, good! It's Curry off the screen, fakes, fires, stuck it! And that's it. The Golden State Warriors will hold on to the number 7 seed.
Steph, that is the sign of a true superstar on a night that's not your night to do what you did down the stretch. That's who you are. It's just incredible. You know, whether it's your night or not, it's just like every night you come through, and it's amazing.
It's what we asked for, and we had to go earn it. So it's nice to win a play-in game too.
I think any team has a chance when I'm on the team, but I know every team has a chance if Steph's on the team. So I get to play Robin. That's my Batman, and I don't know who else is. We got all the villains over there, Two-Face and Joker and Riddler, everybody else in the Western Conference. But we got a lot of games to win. Peace.
Well, that was a fun game for sure. And joining us now, our Warriors reporter, Young Masuk. Jimmy and Steph, they played some heavy minutes throughout the past 2 games. They're both dealing with some nagging injuries here. What should fans expect from them in this series against this young Rockets team?
Well, I think what you've seen in the last 2 games could perhaps be a formula for Golden State to try to win. What you've seen is Jimmy Butler pretty much take over the game in the first 3 quarters. Against the Clippers in a must-win game, he had 24 points. And then Steph, I believe, had like 18 in the 4th. And then against Memphis in the last game, it was Jimmy with like 34 through the first 3 quarters. And then Steph taking over in the end in the 4th quarter. Really what Jimmy's able to do is kind of help Steph stay fresh for that 4th quarter. And that's going to be a must against Houston. The last time they faced Houston, it was very clear the Rockets went out, and to maybe quote a Batman villain, as Jimmy Butler would say, they were like Bane. They just went out to try to punish Steph Curry. He basically had 3 points, 1 for 10. Now, I will say, I'm not going to make excuses for the Warriors, but that game was at the end of a 4 games and 6 nights. They had just gotten back from a 2-week trip on the road, so they were tired and exhausted. But you know, with Thompson, with Brooks, they're going to throw guys consistently at Steph and try to beat him up. They're going to need Jimmy to kind of be what he did in those first 2 games and really give them a boost in those first 3 quarters.
Yeah, the non-Steph minutes, right? That's always something throughout his tenure really in Golden State that we've talked about, and Jimmy Butler has certainly helped with that. But something we've talked about on set is whether or not Jonathan Kuminga, who we did not see play in those play-in games, is someone that maybe Steve Kerr could go to in this series. What have you heard on that front?
So Jonathan Kuminga had a DNP in the 2 biggest games of the year for the Warriors, and really Steve Kerr has just said he's tried to shorten his rotation and go back to what was working when, unfortunately, Kuminga was out. The Warriors played their best basketball. It's kind of become a little bit of a sensitive subject. Steph Curry kind of bristled a couple weeks ago when people were asking how Kuminga's looking. He said, this is like the only guy that we ever ask whenever he has a good game or bad game, how did he look? And Steve Kerr kind of bristled too, and he was asked the other day, have you talked to Jonathan Kuminga after not playing him? He said no, and that was it. That was the answer. But Kuminga's had some of his best games this season against the Houston Rockets, including a 33-point outing against them.
Right.
they might be able to use him in this series because he is their one athletic young guy who perhaps can match some of the young athletic guys on that other side.
And we do know that Steve Kerr, he does have a tendency to go to certain guys for certain matchups and not play them in the series and then go back to a different guy in another series. It's very matchup dependent. So I wouldn't be surprised if we did see Kuminga at some point in this series. He just has to, as UD always says, stay engaged with this group, which can be an incredibly tall task for a young player. Okay, there's a couple of other Western Conference series I want to get to here, because other than the Warriors and the Rockets, we know that the Wolves, they'll take on the Lakers. Our Brian Windhorst has said that this Clippers-Nuggets series, it may be one of the most interesting out of all of them. So let's go in the bonus on that matchup, because it is sure to be a close one here. Let's start with Nikola Jokic. He heads into the series off another stellar season, one that may have been his best yet. He's averaged a triple-double for the first time in his career, making him the third player to do so, joining Oscar Robertson and his teammate Russell Westbrook. As for the Clippers, Kawhi Leonard has played well heading into the postseason. We know Kawhi, he raises his game in the playoffs. Since joining the Clippers, he averages over 28 per game in the playoffs, seventh best in the NBA since 2020. Now, another matchup to keep an eye on here is actually on the sidelines. Ty Lue is a championship coach, has over 700 games of experience under his belt, while David Adelman, making his playoff debut, only has coached 3 games in his career to this point. So this UD is certainly going to be a little bit of a chess match here. We should break it down, but especially the battle of the big men here. What are you watching?
Something that is very rare in today's NBA. I think this series is going to come down to the bigs. So I'm watching Big Zoo go against Big Joker right here. So right now I'm looking at this matchup, and we watch what Zoo covers. He zones this pick and roll right now with Westbrook. It's a deep zone because Westbrook's not a shooter. Helps James on the drive and covers 16 feet to stop the shot and stay in the play. This is very, very underrated for a 7-foot, almost 300-pound guy, and contest the shot without fouling right here. This is why he's one of my guys that I can say can really be Defensive Player of the Year. Now we come down to the second clip. Joker on Zubac. Nobody in the league can guard this one-on-one. 99% of the guys in the league will need help here. This is one-on-one, man-on-man, mano-a-mano. He matches Joker's strength, he matches Joker's size, and he also has the mobility to stand in front of Joker, contest every shot. I think this is going to be a very interesting matchup. Joker obviously had a hell of a year, but I think Zubac could propose some problems for him in this series.
Right, and to your point, I mean, being successful against Nikola Jokic, it's really kind of a matter of degrees, but you could say that no one has had more success guarding Nikola than Big Zoo here. He's defended him the second most of any player in the league since 2016. He's also held Jokic to his lowest field goal percentage against any defender during that time. So you're absolutely right. This is one of the matchups to watch here. But according to ESPN Bet, the Clippers, they are the slightest of favorites in this one, despite not having home court advantage. Why do you